morning, everyone, and welcome back. It is now 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and time now for your tropical update. And certainly making weather headlines this weekend is Hurricane Kyle. Right now, this hurricane is a minimal hurricane, a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Right now, with packing winds of 75 miles per hour. And the latest information has Kyle roughly about 200 miles or so south of Nantucket, but it is racing along very quickly. It's racing off towards the north at about 24 miles per hour. From our satellite perspective, Kyle does not look that terribly impressive. In fact, it's very lopsided, a very asymmetrical hurricane. Currently a center of circulation right about here or so. And all the deep convection is mainly north and east of the center of circulation. So when you see these brighter shades of the oranges and reds, that is the deepest convection where the heaviest rain is occurring and the stronger winds are occurring right there north of the center of circulation. So again, because of that, it's showing us it's very disorganized right now. And in fact, Kyle has been undergoing some wind shear. A strong southwesterly wind shear has been impinging upon Kyle. And also, too, with the system racing along, it will soon be moving into some cooler waters. So that being said, we do expect Kyle has already maxed out, and it will gradually continue to weaken, we think. So at the very least, it'll be a strong tropical storm or perhaps still a minimal hurricane here when it makes landfall later on today. Here's the projected path. Right now it's moving off to the north. It will slightly curve more to the north-northeast though over time, but it should be making landfall late today. Perhaps right around Eastport, Maine, right around the U.S.-Canadian border here, but around Eastport, Maine, probably the most likely scenario. But at any rate, as the system continues to race along, we'll definitely be feeling the effects here across the northeastern shoreline with some big building waves today, battering waves, dangerous rip currents, and really some rough conditions, very squally weather as the wind and the wave action and the heavier rains, too, will start to pick up a little bit later on today. So when it makes landfall, a strong tropical storm or just a minimal hurricane, that's what we're expecting regarding Hurricane Kyle. But here's what we have going on for the advisories. Right now, we have hurricane watches in effect over portions of Maine and extending into Nova Scotia. This is rather unusual, too, for Maine because it's the first time in 17 years that we've had a hurricane watch in effect for Maine. But along with that, too, we have tropical storm watches and warnings, too, that have been posted across the area. Tropical storm warnings in effect for much of Maine, including Eastport and stretching into Nova Scotia. Then flanking those areas, we have tropical storm watches in effect. So the bottom line, that means in the next 12 to 24 hours or so, these are the areas that will likely see at least tropical storm force winds and the squally weather persisting as we go through the afternoon and through tonight. So really some rough weather gearing up here. Now's the time to start batting down the hatches and be prepared now for Kyle, as Kyle will be moving very quickly into these areas later on today. Here's some buoy information for you. The buoy just off the coast here around Cape Cod. Right now, the wind and the wave action, not that terribly impressive. Right now, sustained winds around 11 miles per hour, but the waves have been around 9 to 10 feet high. But when you look at this, it makes sense because, as we were mentioning, most of the action right now east of the center. So most of the really bad weather, the heavier winds and the rain action right now back over the open waters. But as Kyle draws closer, that's when the weather will start to go bad and really get worse here as we continue throughout the day here over portions of New England. So again, we're watching Kyle very closely as it will be battering the New England shoreline later on today. But outside of Kyle, the rest of the tropics not looking that terribly active. We do have a wave right now halfway between Africa and South America. There's another area of disturbed weather, too, up here that could be taking on some tropical characteristics and still some very unsettled weather, too, stretching from around the Bahamas area over towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms across this area. But right now, nothing is showing any signs of immediate development, so that's definitely great news.